All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about a huge shift in our economy, something that's really changing the rules of how you get ahead. And it all kicks off with one kind of surprising question.
So take a second and think about that. Who do you think it is? You're probably picturing a big bank, right? Maybe a Chase or a Wells Fargo, or maybe one of those new online lenders that are popping up everywhere. Well, the answer is probably not what you think.
And before I tell you who it is, get a load of this number. This one lender, whoever they are, is financing $47 billion in home loans every single year. That's a staggering amount of money. It's a bigger footprint in the housing market than a lot of banks you've definitely heard of. So, who is it? It's the Bank of Mom and Dad. Yep, you heard that right. The seventh largest mortgage lender in the U.S. isn't some giant corporation. It's just parents. It's families all over the country helping their kids buy a home. And this isn't just a feel-good story. It's a sign that our whole economic system is changing. This whole phenomenon actually has a name, and it's what we're breaking down today: inheritocracy. It points to a really fundamental change in who gets to build wealth and hit those big life milestones we all aim for. So, what is an inheritocracy? Well, it's basically a system where your starting line in life matters more than how fast you can run, where your ability to, say, buy a house depends more on the family you were born into than on your own hard work or your salary. It's a real shift away from that classic American dream of meritocracy, the idea that you earn your success. So, how does this actually work? I mean, we're not just talking about a couple $1,000 as a gift. We are seeing parents give their kids huge, life-changing sums of money as an early inheritance just for the down payment. In other cases, they're basically acting like a private bank, loaning the money themselves. And get this, some parents are even taking out reverse mortgages on their own homes to get the cash to help their kids. This is a serious structural change in how money flows between generations. But that brings up a huge question. Why? Why is this happening right now? How did we get to a point where help from your parents went from being a nice little bonus to something that feels, well, almost essential? It really all comes down to this massive economic gap that's opened up. And this is the absolute key to understanding the whole thing. For generations, the path seemed pretty clear, right? You get a decent job, you save your money, and you buy a house. But for so many people today, that path is, well, it's basically gone. It's become almost impossible without a huge cash injection from family. And this chart just shows it so clearly. It's incredible. Look at wage growth since the 1970s. Okay, it's gone up, but now look at the price of a starter home over that same period. It's not even a competition. The cost of housing has just completely disconnected from what a normal person earns. So here's the bottom line. It's not that younger generations are lazy or aren't saving. The math just plain doesn't work anymore. The price of admission to the housing market has just sprinted so far ahead that wages have been left completely in the dust. And when you have a gap like that, it creates a whole new reality. A new set of rules for how to survive, financially speaking. The game has changed. It's no longer survival of the fittest. It's more like survival of the endowed. Just look at this breakdown. The old path is the story we all know, the one we were told: work hard, save up, build your credit. But the new path, that's the reality for a huge number of people now. Getting that money from family isn't just a way to speed things up. For many, it's the only way to even get in the door. This quote really just cuts right to the heart of it. Nepotism has become a requirement for survival. When having the right family and access to their money becomes a prerequisite for basic economic stability, it really makes you rethink everything we thought we knew about fairness and opportunity. So where does all of this leave us? We're basically watching the economy get rewired in real time. We're seeing a new system take shape, where the transfer of wealth from one generation to the next is becoming the main engine of success. And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. Is this Bank of Mom and Dad a good thing? Is it a lifeline, a beautiful act of family love that keeps the dream of home ownership alive? Or is it a symptom of a much bigger problem? A sign that the system is broken for anyone who doesn't have that built-in advantage? And if that's true, what happens to everybody else? Something to think about.